Shalom, call hello, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahshua, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us this truth. Shalom, salutations to all the brothers that push the word of truth and in sincerity. The brother Yahshua back with a quick third wheel update, daily update. All right, so let's get on Matthew 24. All right, because these things are coming to life. This is Matthew 24. Start at 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Right here. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginnings of sorrow. So let's look at this. Nation shall rise against nation. Okay. Here, I believe. Okay, so we're going to go to what? Let's go here first. Okay. Let's go here first. This is
of Iran's nuclear
Deep Journal channel. Huh. There must be a difference. Okay, so Deep Journal, June 13th, yesterday. Breaking. Israel confirms sabotage to Iran. All right, because all these explosions and drones downed and all sorts of things. People, scientists being killed in Iran proper. What's going on? That's sabotage. That's espionage. Okay, where you got Israeli Mossad up in Iran proper running operations. And now they're admitting to it. Israel confirms sabotage to Iran. All right, more than one source, okay? Big confessions from Mossad's brain. U.S. shadow, what? Let's check this out. Let's go back here.
Liking our video, you can make it reach a much wider audience.
The ex-Mossad chief, who participated in an Israeli TV channel program on Thursday night, made very striking statements. A series of allegations of sabotage between Israel and Iran, as well as threats of open hostility, were voiced all over the world. However, Israel has never acknowledged the sabotage allegations. The Iranian administration did not want to incapacitate themselves by blaming Israel directly. In addition, even now, Iran cannot prove to the world that its nuclear work is humane. The US and other states are not yet convinced of this. The Iranian administration, which has persistently continued its uncertain nuclear work, has taken a serious blow in this regard in recent years. Many Iranian scientists who were experts in the nuclear field were mysteriously eliminated. Iran persistently accused Israel, but failed to show any evidence. The USA was also afraid of Iran's nuclear activities, and former President Trump had implemented a series of actions against Iran. The USA has never been in active conflict with Iran in the Middle East. Instead, he used the policy of controlling Iran using the CIA and Mossad. He tried to tie his hands with the sanctions. These were appropriate and correct moves until Russia became active in relations with Iran.
Boom, right there. Until Russia became active in relations with Iran. Okay? Now the next video is going to show where, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that Russia is handing over nukes.
Of course, activities with shadow plays were never verified. The U.S. decision to replace the Mossad chief during the Israel-Palestine conflict seems to have been a trauma for Yossi Cohen. He shared some important details that should not be disclosed with the media. This looks more like a counterattack than an intimidation or boasting.
Okay, so what we see here is let the weak say I am strong, and that's Iran coming up in power and receiving these nukes from Russia. We're going to see that in a minute. And then you got this devil's tongue falling upon himself.
Former Mossad chief Yossi Cohen made comments confirming that they sabotaged Iranian scientists. Cohen methods, threats, etc., gave information about many striking details. Relations between Israel and Iran became more strained after the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. After the conflict, Iran made an open threat of war, announcing that it would do anything to end Israel. But then, mysteriously, Iran's important factories, ships and refineries began to burn, explode and be destroyed. We thought that the events had eased for a while due to the recent explosions at the Iran soft drinks factory and steel factory.
Now you see what's going on? This is called World War III, people, if you can't see it. All right, Iran made a direct threat and said we're going to end Israel. And then their factories and their bomb-making plants, they call it a soft drink factory. Yeah, right. Okay, they're being their infrastructure is being dismantled from the inside without any outward, you know, presence, if you will. Okay, letting you know that they have inside, they got spies in there running operations.
However, Yossi Cohen's statements point out that these shadow plays will never end by revealing the details. Now, let's examine the details of Israel's shadow plays who made explained by Yossi Cohen with threats and sabotage against Iran. The outgoing chief of Israel's Mossad intelligence service has offered the closest acknowledgement, yet his country was behind recent attacks targeting Iran's nuclear program and a military scientist.
Okay, so they're killing, you know, their adversaries. They're in there wreaking havoc from the inside. All right, a shadow war going on.
The comments by Yossi Cohen, speaking to Israel's Channel 12 investigative program Yuvda in a segment aired on Thursday night, offered an extraordinary debriefing by the head of the typically secretive agency in what appears to be the final days of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's rule.
So he's causing his tongue to fall upon him. So that's good enough for that video. We'll go to the next one. Let's get a couple of quick precepts. Okay. Psalm 64. We'll get that. This is Psalm 64 and 8. So shall they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Okay? That's what we're looking at right there. Now let's go to this. And this looks like it's a different channel, so let me see what this is. Yeah, this is different. Okay. One is Deep Journal. This is Deep Journalist.
If you're watching this video right now on your home Wi-Fi network, you need to check out this little trick I just found out. There's this little device called the Ultra Wi-Fi Pro, and it instantly increases your Wi-Fi.
All right.
Dear listeners, welcome to the Deep Journalist.
This thing is not working for me. Okay, so this is a different channel that I'm about to subscribe to right now. Deep Journalist, okay, which is different from Deep Journal. Looks like they have the same logo, so they must be the same. So this is June 13th, because I was looking for this. I saw it a couple of days ago. I'm like, wait a minute, I need to report on that. All right, so this is significant. All right, breaking. All right, nuclear gift from Russia to Iran. That's huge. It won't be easy to blow up Iran. Okay. Sure would like to see what the rest of this says. Let me see. It's not going to show. But anyway, this is huge, that headline. So let's listen to what this says. All right, because this is let the weak, you know, say I am strong. Let's get Isaiah real quick. This is Isaiah 14 and 10. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become as weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? All right, let's get this. This is Joel 3 and 10. All right, because this is what's going on. They're getting some weapons here. Iran is. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. All right, let's check this out. Again, nuclear gift from Russia to Iran.
Dear listeners, welcome to the Deep Journalist channel. Deep Journalist channel is the second channel of Deep Journal. By subscribing to our channel, you can follow our independent comments on the latest news. Relations between Russia and Iran are getting stronger as the Middle East heats up. Russia is preparing to establish an advanced satellite system in Iran to monitor military targets in the Middle East by making a very important military move. The military and friendly relations, which developed well after the S-300 air defense systems agreement between Russia and Iran, came to a head with the finalization of the establishment of 2 joint nuclear power plants in Iran's Surik region on the Persian Gulf coast. On the other hand, relations between the USA and Russia have hit rock bottom. These moves of Russia, which preceded the Biden-Putin summit on June 16, make the Biden side appear weak and helpless in the Middle East. While Russia takes advantage of the opportunity to withdraw from the USA and develops its Middle East game through Iran, the USA is getting weaker in the region. Applying that the enemy of my enemy is my friend policy, Putin has gained the upper hand over
men everywhere.
All right, you know what this is. Get back to it.
for Biden. The Iranian nuclear work crisis, which has been going on for the past few weeks, has not yet been resolved. Although Biden has slightly eased sanctions on Iran, Iran has made it clear that these will not be enough and that much more must be given. Right at this stage, Putin is taking drastic measures against the USA and Israel in the Middle East, through Iran, by seizing the opportunity of strong relations with Iran and common interests. It is not yet clear how Biden will use the current Israel against Iran. However, it seems certain that the USA and Israel will not be able to sabotage or attack the regions where Russia is located. Now let's examine the details of Russia's military and nuclear moves in the Middle East through Iran. Russia is preparing to provide Iran with an advanced satellite that would enable it to track potential military targets across the Middle East.
So do you see what's going on? The Allies are strengthening their ties as World War III gets more rigid. All right? And they're mentioning nukes. All right? The smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. All right? Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. This is all in the scriptures. All right? And we're moving closer and closer to where, first of all, the angels have control over the nukes. All right? Letting you know that they could have been pressing buttons years ago, but if the angels said that it's not time yet, the Most High has control over the whole situation. He's doing things in his time, incrementally. Esau's not the only one that uses gradualism.
The plan including a Russian-made Canopus V satellite equipped with a high-resolution camera which could be launched from Russia within months.
This was published days before US President Joe Biden and Russian President Vladimir Putin meet in Geneva, and as Iran and the United States are engaged in indirect talks on reviving a 2015 nuclear deal designed to put curbs on Iran's nuclear program in exchange for easing economic sanctions.
So before they have those talks, Russia's going to go install the hardware needed to win this battle, and we know, all right, by what it says in the scriptures, that Russia's going to win. All right, so instead of going to this next commercial, I'm just going to go ahead and close it out with a couple of scriptures, all right? What's going on here? Okay, well, who's the main culprit of all of this? We just saw in the first video that even though Bibi is getting moved out, these Amalekites are still starting to fight. Let's get that. It's Jeremiah 49:20. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. All right? We see that happening right now. All right? Okay? And then eventually all these nations are going to turn against Babylon the Great. Right? Let's just get Revelation and close it up. All right? Because nobody can say that, the men of the Lord haven't reported on this. It's Revelation 11 and 14. The second woe, meaning World War II, is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. You can't see it? All right, we're going to report on it every day until Friday, before we hit the highways and the byways again. So with that, we hope that the elect were edified, and with that, we're going to say until next time, or until tomorrow, tomorrow's third woe update. Shalom.